Hello everyone. In this session, we will discuss software testing techniques. In that particular, we will see testing fundamentals, white box testing, black box testing, and object-oriented testing methods. First of all, what is software testing? Before we deploy the software to the customer, we have to first check whether the software is bug-free or not. Because we know that if bugs remain in the software and we deploy it, then after deployment that is considered as a defect, and the defect cost higher than the bug to fix the bug. So testing is the process of exercising a program with the specific intent of finding errors. Now here finding errors means distinct error and prior to the delivery to the end user. So what testing shows? Once we perform or we test the software, it shows you errors, what type of errors are remain in the software, whether requirements conformance is done or not, whatever requirements stated by the customer are all implemented or not, that we are testing, that it is showing, the performance of the software or system, and an indication of the quality of the software. The question is, who tests the software? So there are two different entities who test the software. When it is developed by the developer, they do testing. So one is a developer. Developer understand the system because they are building, they have built the system. But they will test gently. They will not impose some crash on it. They will not try to break down the system. Whatever they implemented, they test only that part. So unit testing is type of testing that is done by the developer. The small modules, whatever they are developing, that they are testing. So developer is a tester of the system. But they will test the system gently and is driven by the delivery. On the other hand, we have independent testers. So they have just a testing task. They are not developer and hence they must learn about the system before they start the testing. What is their job? They attempt to break the system. They impose the stress on the system and then they will see what happened in this critical scenario. And the testing done by the independent tester are driven by the quality. So we have two testers. The developer are also part of a tester. They do the unit testing, whatever modules they test, they are testing, they developed. And independent tester whose focus is on quality. They try to break the system and they are the independent tester. Now two important terms here we need to understand, that is validation versus verification. Verification means, are we building the right product right? Is the code correct with respect to its specification? Whatever we are building is correct or not, that is verification. While validation means, are we building the right product? Whatever we build is as per the SRS or not, as per the specification or not. That is what the validation. So verification is done by the developer, while validation is done by the independent tester. Now there are four testing strategies: unit testing, integration testing, validation testing, and the entire system testing. So unit testing means what? A single module, a smallest module, or a procedural language in a procedural language, or classes in object-oriented language, when we check as an individual component, it is considered as a unit testing. Integration testing, once we complete the unit testing, these individual components are grouped together and then we perform the integration testing. So test collections of components that must work together. Validation testing, here we test the application as a whole against a user requirement. So specification is required when we perform the validation testing. And then we have a system testing that tests the application in the context of an entire system, whatever hardware and other system that are involved in a software we put together, and then the entire system testing is done. So 4 testing strategies are there. Unit testing, we have to begin the test of any software with the unit testing, where we test individual components, the smallest part. Then we club those individual components and we integrate it, and then we test it. Then validation testing with respect to the user requirements, and then system testing where we test the entire system. So in unit testing, software engineers, we know that unit testing is done by the developers, right? And here we test the modules. Now to test any software or a part of a software, we require test cases. And so 2 inputs are there, whatever our code done by the developer and whatever the test cases are there, these are the 2 input, and output is the results. Now results tell you the errors, whether requirement conformance is done or not, the quality and all the things. So that is the unit testing. So in unit testing, what type of test cases could be there? So the test cases like interface test cases, local data structure test cases, boundary condition, independent path and error handling. This could be the different test cases to test the module. So unit test environment, if I want to test any module, I need driver or stub. And that we can understand by first understanding integration testing strategy. Integration means we club 2 modules and then we test it. That is integration. So the option was the Big Bang approach. Big Bang approach means we integrate all the sub-modules and then we test thoroughly. Now the issue over here is, if we found any error, it is very difficult to trace which module introduced this error, because we have already clubbed all the modules together. So to reduce such an effect, an incremental construction strategy is used. Incremental construction strategy means what? Suppose I have module 1, M1, and this is the module 2, M2. Once I perform unit testing successfully on M1 and M2, so this is M1 and this is M2, I club these modules M1 and M2 and then I apply the integration testing. Then if M3 is there and if M3 is successfully unit tested, then in M1 and M2 I add M3 and then perform the integration testing. That is what the incremental construction strategy. It is not like the Big Bang where we club all the modules together and finally we perform the testing. So in integration testing, we have 2 variations, top-down integration and bottom-up integration. When we have a top-down integration, first we test the top module. And to execute or to test the top module, it may happen that the down modules are not yet ready. So we have to temporarily create the stubs. So stub means A may call B, F and G. Okay, so we have to create stubs that will temporarily created module which will work like F and G, that is considered as a stub. Means A calls that function from F and G that are not yet ready. So we create the temporary, that is considered as a stub. So these stubs are replaced one at a time and it is work like a depth first. As new modules are integrated, some subset of test is rerun. Another possible integration technique is the bottom up, where we start from this module D and E, and D and E may require some of the values of C to execute itself, so that requires a driver. So 2 terms are there, that is driver and stub. So it needs to be very clear to you, modules call some of the values or pass the values to the other modules, that is considered as a driver. And when a module calls other function, okay, that is considered as a stub. Module will never pass the value to the stub, they pass the value to the driver. So in top-down approach, we require stubs, and in bottom-up integration, we require drivers to be implemented for those function or module that are not yet implemented or available. Now regression testing. What happens when we test some module? When we test some module, some errors say we find, and that errors with the reason we have to send back to the developers for correction. Now when developer correct those module, it may happen that the modified part may introduce some of the error. So what is the job of regression testing? The selective retesting of a modified system, and that will help to ensure that no bugs have been introduced during the modification. The system runs perfectly, right? But to solve some of the error, we have to change some of the part of the code. Now it may happen that that part that we have modified, that may introduce some of the bug. So we are not applying the entire testing to that module. What we are doing? We are only retesting the modified portion, and that is considered as a regression testing. So fixing one part of the code can break another, and for that we perform the regression testing. Now high order testing, here we have validation testing with respect to SRS, system testing that focus on system integration, entire system with hardware, software, any external interface. Alpha beta testing focuses on customer usage. We will see in detail what is alpha and beta testing in later on. Recovery testing forces the system to fail. We impose some criteria that cause the system to fail in a variety of ways, and then we verify that recovery is properly done or not. Security testing, we verify that the protection mechanism built into the system will in fact protect it from the improper penetration or not. Stress testing, whatever the resources we have, right, we try to impose the maximum requirement of the resources or abnormal quantity of the resources, and then we look what happened to the system. So we execute a system in a manner that demands resources in abnormal quantity, frequency or volume. And performance testing means we test the runtime performance of the software within the context of an integrated system. Now the question is, what is a good test? So we might think that the good test means there should be no error. It means it is written perfectly, but this is wrong. A good test is one that has a high probability of finding an error, because what is our intention to do testing is we need to find maximum error before deployment. And this error, when we say maximum, it doesn't mean that the same type of error we found many times. Our aim is to identify the distinct error from the system. So test cases. To test the software, we have to write the test cases. Now, what is the observation from industry point of view and experienced people says that bugs lurk or hidden in a corners, and they congruent get together right into the system. So objective over here is what? To uncover error. When we write the test case, what is our objective? Our objective is to uncover the errors. What is the criteria? In a complete manner, we want to uncover the errors. And what is the constraint? Of course, the time, with a minimum of efforts and the time. So the first technique was exhaustive techniques, in which we try to test each and every path. So there are 10⁻14 possible paths. If we execute one test per millisecond, it would take 3,170 years to test this program, so which is not practical. So on the other hand, we have a selective testing. So we test selected path, and that will complete within a time bound. Now software testing, we will see in the next section what is software testing, what are the major types of software testing, that is white box testing and black box testing in detail. So thank you for this session.